Hey everyone, it is Thursday, January 10th, and it's time for another Remington's Ramblings. And right now I just got to apologize for the sound. It's a coastal city I live on, so the wind's always blowing. So right now you're probably hearing a lot of but yeah. If you're really interested in random stuff that I might talk about, just keep on watching or just listening. Let me see if I can guard the mic right here. But anyways, okay. I have one comment that I'd like to read right now. Let me get out of the wind to do that, and then I can start discussing what it's about. All right. So I have a comment from, I've got it written down, Azamuki89, who says, "Damn, I feel old" sounds appropriate for people who are 17 to 20 and think they should have children right now. Okay, so that seems like a decent starter topic. Let's talk about that. Alright, so basically, you have these kids who think that they need to have kids right now. Well, let me tell you something, pal. You don't need a kid right now. You're still a kid. I mean, think about all those things you want to do. You say, oh, I want to go to college, or I want to be rich, like have a bunch of money, or I want to own a business, or I want to go skydiving, or whatever it is you want to do. You think that if you have kids, you're going to have time to do that, or money to do that. Yeah, and you might be saying, oh, this or that, but let me ask you this. Think back to when you were a kid and all the crap that you put your parents through. Every time you threw a tantrum, every time you threw a fit, how many times you said no, how long it took you to learn how to use a friggin' toilet. Now imagine you being your parent, and just how much you would be pissed off at yourself. You know? You got this little person who can't even feed themselves, much less use a damn toilet, and you're responsible for them. You're responsible for everything they do. Every time that, they steal from a store, it's you who winds up embarrassed because now you're the parent of a little thief. Or, every time you say something inappropriate in public, just think about all those times you did all that stuff and all the crap you put your parents through, and then think, do I want to have to put up with that? You might think, oh, my kid will be different. Trust me, no one's kid is different. Every kid is pretty much more or less exactly the same. Parenting, of course, does play into it, but you are still a kid. 17, hell, 17, you're still going to high school, unless you're one of those super smart people and you graduated early. And if you are one of those super smart people that graduated early, then you're smart enough to know that, hey, I don't want a kid right now. Maybe in about 4 or 5 years, sure. Right now, hell no. Trust me, old people say this to you all the time, and of course you always ignore it because you think you know better. And it's only when you're older that you realize this. But these are the best years of your life. Trust me. Trust me. And if no one has said this to you before, listen to me now. You think you got it hard? You got it easy, my friend. Unless you have a really horrible home life, which I know unfortunately some people do, trust me, things can get a lot worse. You have like a home that you live in, rent-free. Some of you have a car that was probably provided to you free of charge, and you don't have to pay to go to school. Guess what? When you get older, suddenly those things aren't free anymore. You move out of your parents' house, guess what? That really crappy minimum wage job that you thought was just okay before, you'd put up with it, you know. It let you put gas in your car and let you buy fast food whenever you were out with your friends or whatever. Now, none of that stuff is being provided for you. That crappy minimum wage job, you are barely scraping by, okay? Barely scraping by. And the money that you are earning is basically going towards paying for your crummy little apartment, which you're probably sharing with 2 other people that after a while you probably don't get along with. I might even straight up hate. You still have to put gas in your car, but you got to get it registered. You got to renew the registration every year. You got to get it fixed up whenever it breaks down. Oil changes. You want electricity in your house or your apartment? Hell, you got to pay for that stuff. Schooling, unless you got some kind of a grant or scholarship, guess what? School is no longer free. All that stuff that you took for granted, now you have to pay for. So trust me, when I say that these are the best years of your life, these are the best years of your life. You will never feel this young anymore. You will never feel this much physical empowerment. I mean, look at me. I'm out here walking when it's really cold. Like I said, I live on a coastal town, so the wind is just blowing. And yeah, my hair's crazy. That's because, you know, I just got up and I'm going to be taking a shower after this. So I figured, why waste my time with the hair right now? But you can do all these things, and you know, you can take it. Your body, whatever injury you get, can recover from it. I used to be, I mean, my driver's license, the picture on it looks almost nothing like me. It's because the picture was taken when I was 19. The weight that I have on my driver's license says I weigh 165 pounds. 165 pounds. That was a lifetime ago, you know? I'm a lot more than 165 pounds now. So, yeah, these are the best years of your life. Don't enjoy it, and don't screw it up by having a kid. I mean, seriously, when you get older and more responsible, sure, then have a kid. If you like kids. Some people are just not cut out to be parents, you know? Myself, I might make an awesome uncle, you know, one of those, you know, the weird uncle that you have that, you know, slips you money to buy something your parents don't want you to have, or, you know, just the uncle who never really grew up, so he's, you know, fun to be around. I'd be that kind of an uncle. But I sure as hell wouldn't be a super responsible uncle. And I sure as hell am not cut out to be a parent, at least right now. You know? So, if you're young, don't be having kids. I know you're gonna have sex, that's just how it is. Use protection, you know, be responsible, the whole 9 yards. I remember seeing a poster in my driver's ed class over a decade ago. Damn, I'm old. That showed this teenager, probably 16 or 17, pushing a baby carriage along with a little baby in it. And the caption underneath said, "Are these the wheels you've been saving up for?" Yeah, that's right. I mean, come on. You watch Jerry Springer. You watch The Maury Show. You watch Steve Wilkos. You really want to be one of those people that come onto that show and be like, he won't pay child support. Or, you know, he don't help out with the kid. And it's just some kid on there. Some kid supposed to be taking care of a kid, and he can't or won't. Why? Because he's a kid. Exactly my point. Exactly my point. Enjoy yourselves while you're young, because you'll never feel this young again. Okay. Well, now that that's over with, what other topics do I have to talk about? How about, this is something that's been stewing in my mind. How about we cross the racial barrier? Yeah, I know. We're getting into some dangerous territory here, but this is just something that, I've been thinking about for a while, and personally, it's my own opinion. If you have a different opinion, okay, oh well, your opinion. Now let's get on with it. Why did you call African American people African American? They are black. No offense intended, they are black. They're not African American. I have met exactly two, count them, two African Americans in my entire lifetime. Why do I call them African Americans? Because they were born in Africa and immigrated here legally to the United States and got themselves permanent green cards. Okay? That's why I call them African American. Every other black person I've known is black. Okay, and like I said, no offense intended, but that's just how it is. They're black. Like I'm white. Like I know Mexican people. I know a few Indian people. And some Asian people. They're black. They're Americans. They're born here in the United States. This is how it is. So why are people so afraid of calling them anything but African American? I mean, I've met several black people who say, don't call me African American. I'm not African American. I'm black. Call me black. Okay. I mean, do I need someone's permission to call them, what they are without being offensive about it? I honestly don't think I do. It's just that the popular media today is just so scared of offending anyone and getting sued because anyone can sue anything. Anyone can sue anyone for anything in this country, which is a topic for another time. But it's just ridiculous. And personally, I don't like saying African American. One of the reasons is that, it's there's too many syllables in it. African American, that's a lot of syllables. And they're not African. It's just that sometime, hundreds of years ago, their ancestors came over to this country, probably 99.8% of them against their will, from Africa. Now, I don't really know too much about my family tree, mostly because I don't care. But I think some of my relatives came over from Sweden or whatever country it is that Danish people are from. Do I identify with the Danish people? No. I don't give a damn. I don't care. They could have come from Britain. They could have come from France. They could have come from Germany or Russia. It doesn't matter to me. I'm an American. I was born here in the United States. That's the end of the story. I got this friend, John. You've seen him in videos. Some people call him the pig-pin looking guy with the cracked out hair. John is an interesting case in that he is like a mixed breed. He calls himself a mutt, which is pretty much the truth. He says he's American. At first glance, does he look American? Nah. If he were to walk up to you and he hasn't said anything, you'd think this guy's Mexican. Well, here's a little news flash for y'all. He is, let's see, 1/2 German, a quarter Mexican, and a quarter Native American, which is another topic for another time. But that's what he is. He says, I'm American. Because he's, he's half German, quarter Mexican, quarter Indian. And that's the honest to God truth. I really don't think a whole lot about race. Another friend of mine, Julian. He's Filipino. One time I went over to his house and some stuff happened. And basically, I'm like, boom, wait a second, you're Asian? And he's like, yeah, what do you think I was all this time? And I said, you know what? I haven't really thought about it. It just never crossed my mind. I always thought of him as just my friend Julian. I never thought of him as my Asian friend. He was just Julian. So, race, unless you are truly deeply ingrained into your ancestors' culture or history, well, how important is it? You're not living in the old country anymore. You're living in the United States. So just be American. Be happy about it. Be happy that you are American. Because as much as the politicians are trying to screw you over and take away your rights and your privileges, you still have rights. Other countries have fewer rights. Some countries have no right at all. I mean, holy crap, look at me. I just posted a video on YouTube. And you know what? China doesn't exactly allow that. China has like state police who are always on the patrol to guard against dangerous thought. How much of a communist regime can you be? You cannot sound more communist than saying that you need to guard against dangerous thought. Really? Wow. I bet you have like a statue set up in some giant concrete square that has like the typical dictator pose where you are looking out into the distance with your hand outstretched, as if you are looking towards the future, a better, brighter future for your people, when honestly, there is no better, brighter future for your people until you're dead. In which case, some other power-hungry maniac will probably grab a hold of power and keep up the same policies that you did, which is living off the backbreaking labor of the common people and living in luxury, which unfortunately is not too far off from how things are here in the United States. But at least we have the right to own guns and form militias and all that jazz. And I'm not even going to get into guns, since there's this huge thing going on in the news right now. Gun control, anti-gun control, kids getting shot up in schools. It's the gun's fault. It's the gun owner's fault. It's the irresponsible gun owner's fault. So, yeah, I will leave you all with that thought as I head on home. And I hope I have left you all with something to think about today. I know that I have. It's me, signing off.